Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here's how to make that tiered loaded flip bag thing that I posted on my Instagram recently. I don't really know what to call it, so I'm going with that. I put this together a few nights ago and I was really happy with the way that it came out. So I wanted to share it with you guys how to put it together. It's very, very easy. At the end of the video, I'll be taking this one apart. That way you can see how I've filled it up and how to kind of load yours and just some tips that I have for doing that. So we'll put this one aside for now. This one I'm working on, it's completely empty as you can see. I just need to do the front here and add some stuff to the back. So let's just get started with the tutorial. What you're going to need are two 12 by 12 sheets of paper. Make sure that it is the lightweight cardstock, the lightweight papers. Don't use a heavier cardstock. This one is actually labeled medium weight on the paper pad here on this cover, but lightweight, medium weight, it's as long as it's not a heavy cardstock, because you're going to be folding this paper over on itself and it's just not going to sit right if you do that. I tried it and it didn't really work for me, so use a lighter cardstock. Also make sure that your pattern is something like a polka dot or something non-directional. That way when you fold it over, it doesn't end up upside down, because you're kind of going to be doing this and you don't want it to be, it'll be upside down, your pattern basically, if you don't keep that in mind when you're choosing your paper. So you're going to need two of those, and you're going to need your scoreboard and some adhesive, and that's pretty much it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to score both of your papers at 3 1/8 and 8 7/8. Let me make sure that I'm in the camera view here. Okay, so again, score at 3 1/8 and 8 7/8. Do that to both sheets. Again, you guys, this is the easiest tutorial ever. And you're gonna fold that over, fold your score lines. Try to get it as straight as possible, so make sure that you don't fold it over crooked or anything, that we don't have to trim off too much at the end. I'll explain what I mean right now. So here's my first one and the second one. Make sure you get nice and crisp folds. Okay. So again, make sure that you fold it as straight as possible so that you don't have something like this little bit hanging down here. Just make sure that you kind of avoid that. You can always trim it off if you do kind of end up with that. Once you glue, it might happen as well. So let me move this for a minute. Okay, so we've scored and folded at 3 1/8 and 8 7/8, both papers. The next thing you're gonna do is you're going to glue this side over onto this side right here. So apply your adhesive right along this edge here. And what I like to do is use like a scrap piece of paper underneath. That way, because I'm going to be using a glue stick for this part. I'm not using like a tape runner or anything like that. So I just put my paper underneath, that way I can get right up against the edge and I don't have all this like excess glue sticking out of this paper here. So let me take this guy out. So you're going to glue that over like that. And do the same to your second sheet. Again, I'm putting my paper underneath, that way I can just glue right up on the edge. Oh, it's stuck. There we go. Try to glue it as straight as you can. Okay. Again, if you do end up with a little bit of like overhang on the sides here, you can always just trim that off, but I don't think mine looks too bad. The next thing you're gonna do is, if you have two different papers, you're going to, or two different patterns, you're gonna decide which one you want to be on the outside and which one you want to be your inner pocket. So like here, I don't know if you can really tell, but this is the black and this is, I used a black polka dot paper and a gray polka dot paper. So for this one, I'll want this black and white to be on the inside or on the outside. I'll do it on the inside. So like this. So this is how you're gonna want it to look, like that. Can you tell we're pretty much done? Like, that's all there is to it. The last thing I need you guys to know is the last score line, score measurements. So back to my scoreboard here. Again, my outer pocket will be this black and my inner pockets will be this white color. So for my outer pockets, I'm just gonna wanna score at 8.5. So right there. For the inner pocket, oh, I'm going to score at 6, 6 7/8 is the score line for this one. Okay, and I'm done with this. And once you sit your two score lines on top of each other, that's how your book is going to, or your bag is going to end up. Actually, let me fold my score lines before I do that. And here's my other one. I told you guys this is super easy. And I'm just going to sit this one in this one here. And that's pretty much it. Isn't that so easy? It's almost silly how easy that is. So now, something to keep in mind, you can't really tell on this paper, I don't think, but you want to make sure that the part that is overlapped, so the part where you glued, is on the inside of your bag. So mine are in here. Because if you glue them this way, what's going to happen is you're going to have this big line right here. And depending on your paper, because just imagine it being flipped this way, you're going to end up with this big line right here. And depending on your paper, you might be able to tell a lot more. And maybe it doesn't matter to you, but just something to keep in mind. Keep your overlap on the inside. And once you start decorating, it's very easy to cover up. You'll see what I mean a little bit better on this other pink one once I take it apart for you all. So there's one tip there. Another thing that you can do is with these measurements, I don't know if you can really tell, but these pockets end up being about the same space apart or the same height, but this bottom one here ends up being kind of longer. So of course you can just trim that off if that matters to you. I didn't do it on this black and white one here, but I did do it on this pink one. I trimmed it a little bit, as you can see. So the pocket ends just about, maybe not even half an inch shorter is what I trimmed off. So there's that to keep in mind. The next thing that I wanted to share with you about putting this together is, because you only have such little space to decorate, it makes it easier and faster to get this kind of over with. I know that sounds bad, but sometimes you're kind of in a hurry to send something off. And when you have a lot to decorate, it kind of gets overwhelming, at least I think. So the backs, I'm deciding that I'm not really decorating as far as these bags are concerned, but the front I am. So what I'm doing is I'm decorating just this little piece here, and then I'm gluing. And once I start gluing, what I do is, so say this top part is done and it's decorated and all of that. What I'll do is apply this tape on the bottom and on all sides, actually, on all 4 sides. I hope I'm in the camera view. On all 4 sides, and then you stick that down like so. And then I do my next one. I just kind of gauge more or less where this pocket is going to sit, and I do the decorations on this one, and then I glue. And then I do this part, and then I glue, and so on and so forth. So don't glue right away, just so that you can have room to decorate, and you're not trying to decorate under, you know, like if you've already glued this down, it's gonna be kind of hard to decorate in there. And as you can tell on this one, some of the stuff that I've used to decorate actually falls underneath the pocket. So I've glued after I've decorated, okay, if that makes any sense. So there's that to keep in mind. Something else that I realized is that you can add even more pockets to this. I don't think they're necessary, but you can if you want to. So instead of applying your adhesive on all 4 sides, you would obviously just leave this one without glue, so that when you stick it down, you'd have this pocket here, and then you'd have this pocket back there, just in case you want to use that for something. So there's that. What else have I learned from putting these together? I think that's kind of it, actually. So let me show you this completed one here. But that's basically it as far as putting it together. That's it. 2 12x12s, score at 3 1/8 and 8 7/8. Fold your score lines over, glue them, and then do your other score lines with your paper this way. And the inner pockets are at 6 7/8. This outer pocket is going to be at 8 1/2. Then you sit your score lines together, and that's how you're going to glue it. And again, decorate and then glue, decorate and glue, and then so on and so forth. So this last one, let me take out the stuff so you can see what I'm sending off. And everything that I'm sending off, I'm putting in these clear pockets that I'm just reusing from my stickers and enamel dots and stuff like that. So like here's an empty one, for example. That's all that this is. I'm not buying these clear baggies, or anymore, I should say, because I used to, and then I was like, wait, I could just use these. So that's what this is. Just filled up with a bunch of goodies and decorated with washi. And take this little clip guy out. This is from the Target Valentine stuff from this year. All I did was just hot glue gun it and covered the back with some felt. Same thing with this one here. Just hot glue gun and some felt. Clip from the Target Dollar Spot. Some sticker sheets from Hobby Lobby. These fit perfectly into this flip bag I found. There's some of those. I think it was kind of a challenge, to be honest, to fill this up. I wasn't really sure about this last pocket here because it's so tall, and I obviously wanted something that wasn't going to just fall all the way in. So I decided to go with this sort of longer list pad and this longer sticker sheet. And I was actually really happy with that because I realized that it's kind of hard to add a whole sheet like this in like a regular flip book, or some of the other flip books that we all kind of make. It's kind of hard to add something like this. Like you'd have to cut it in half or something. So there's that. And there's another sticker sheet and some paper samples. So that's what's going in the back. In this second pocket, or I guess third, we're counting from the bottom up, this one here has some more goodies in it in these clear baggies. Again, all reused from sticker packs. But what I've done in here is I've added some filler at the bottom. I don't know if you can really see that, but there's some crinkle paper thing down there. That way this stuff doesn't fall all the way in and just kind of sinks in. It just sits right there. So there's another tip. I actually, at Planning with Gabriella, sent me a loaded bag for Christmas, and it had that in it, and I thought, well, duh, why didn't I think of that before to fill some stuff up? So that's what I'm doing in here, just some crinkle paper. And lastly, I wanted to make something that would look good even when it was empty. So once you take all of this stuff out, it doesn't just look like an empty bag because we've decorated everything. Oh, I can't even take it out. There we go. Because we've decorated it all. Each tier is decorated. The back is sort of decorated. I didn't go too crazy on the back. And this one here, which contains the letter to my pen pal, is stuck on there. So this doesn't come off. So you see, it doesn't look like just a plain bag. So that's how to put it together. That's how I filled it. I hope you guys like this tutorial. Make sure to tag me if you've created your own tiered bag. I already forgot what I called it. But yeah, there you go. That's it. Thank you guys for watching.